time. It takes a while. Alright, so I'll do the cuties first, shall I? First up we have the Frilly Love Castle. It is piloted by Maddie of the Frills, and it has on its left-hand side, this is the left-hand side, a Banshee, a Gatling gun. On the front it has a Artemis, and on the right-hand side it has an Artemis and another Artemis. And we have the Fluffy Tails, a Watcherfish piloted by Ing with a front Watcher, a left side Flamer, and a right side Gatling. Over to you, man.
And on the East Chaladon Trading Company, we have the Narwhal, piloted by the Captain's Growbeard. It has a flamethrower on the left side, a Hoatcher in the centre, and what appears to be a Gatling on the right side. Helping them is the Ethereal Mammoth, piloted by, is it Mirren? Yes, Mirren, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, which is a Pyramidion with a Gatling on one, is that another Gatling on two, as well as a flak and a flare gun on the side.
Are you having the same problems I'm having there, man, where it's very difficult in all this doom and gloom to spot the guns?
Yeah. Absolutely. The shadows, it makes it quite confusing sometimes.
Okay, so we have Narwhal and Ephemeral Moth have pushed slightly to the north of their spawn, while Fluffy Tail and Frilly Love Castle are pushing to the south. Okay, and so they're moving towards the centre here. There's a big cloud in between the two of them. This is always the risk with Clash at Blackcliff, is you're going to end up with the teams somewhat separated, and doing ring around the roses, especially on the mountain structure around.
Absolutely. I mean, after a while, you look at the map and you think to yourself, well, you can just go straight forward to the enemies, but because of the way the map is sort of designed, people like to go around in circles. As we can see, the QTs are going around, whereas the Chaladons are going straight through the centre.
Yes, and so the movement straight through the centre is going to put a big mountain between these two. The Chaladon are likely to end up heading towards their enemy spawn to go and scout out where they've started, which of course is going to be a problem if the Fluffy Tail and the Frilly Love Castle make it around this mountain before spots go down.
By the looks of it, the Narwhal may have spotted them, as it is currently heading in their general direction.
Ah, they smell blood in the sky, do they?
Absolutely.
So what do you make
of
of
It's quite nice to see new teams.
Yeah, especially the QTs, who have a lot of players that have a limited number of matches, but they're gonna give it their best shot, and
it's great. I mean, it's good practice as well, and it's always nice to see new teams. I mean, you always get the same ones, well, a lot of the time.
And the Narwhal deploying their Watcher against the Frilly Love Castle and getting in a nice ram. The balloon is not having fun. The Fluffy Tails has opened up as well. And we have Gatling fire on the Frilly Tails from the Ephemeral Moth. The Fluffy Tail is engaging the Narwhal, so this is split. Frilly Love Castle's armour is broken. No explosive damage going down though, but their armour is still down. And oh, now the explosive damage is landing. Frilly Love Castle most of the way towards death. 70% of their perma-hull gun. Gatling still going in. They survive, but I don't think they'll survive another armour break. Meanwhile, Fluffy Tail suffers an armour break, and Narwhal has brought their Watcher to bear. Will they get the armour back up in time? Yes, but their ally goes down. Ephemeral Moth killing the Junker, and now Fluffy Tail 2 versus 1. This is probably not going to be a fun time for them in a few seconds. Their armour goes down. Where's the mortar? There's the mortar, and down goes the Fluffy Tail. Oh.
Take a breath now.
I require no oxygen, man. Oxygen is for the weak.
Wow.
That was brutal.
Quick engagement.
Yeah, that was brutal. The Narwhal and the Ephemeral Moth catching the cuties unawares, and right from the get-go, the Ephemeral Moth had the Narwhal had the advantage on the Junker, pushed it, took out its balloon, and then the Ephemeral Moth just came in to clean up. A brutal engagement.
It looks like the QTs have finally respawned to the north.
Indeed, and so now we have...
Hopefully now that they've experience their enemies, they'll have an idea of what to do.
Indeed.
Or
Well,
they'll hopefully have a plan.
yeah. Well, this is the thing with the SCS is the play is quite different from public matches, and you can only really get games like this, and even veteran public matches. You get games like this mostly from scrims by facing organised opposition.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be the SCS. I mean, games that are organised where you're practicing, the tactics can be quite different. But it's always a massive step up from playing games with an ally that you are sometimes not used to this kind of situation where the
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have an exchange of fire between the Frilly Love Castle and the Narwhal. And we had the Fluffy Tail opening up in the Narwhal. A few good Watcher hits landing at the end there. The Frilly Love Castle, though, is now getting focused fire. This will be less than ideal. Armor break, where's the explosive damage? They may not need it if the ram connects. Oh! That was
a very
brutal.
good ram by the Ethereal Moth.
I think the Fluffy Tail now has problems. They are sitting on their spawns, so this works a little better for them. But Gatling going into the Fluffy Tail, they've got to either try and disengage and head for one of their other spawns. The Watcher goes out. Ephemeral Moth, I think, has lost their mortar, so the Fluffy Tail has a few seconds here. Gatling now hitting them. Oh wait, they don't have a mortar. They have double Gatlings, don't they? Okay, so
Yeah,
Fluffy
it's
Tail.
it's a ramming pyro.
That would explain why there was no explosive damage on the Junker earlier.
I mean, it gives the Fluffy Tail a slight advantage to escape, but sadly, at Hoactor is having none of it.
Oh,
And two of
dear.
its engines are disabled.
Oh, Fluffy Tail. And the main, I think, took a few hits there. Let's have a look at the damage report. Yeah, the main is also damaged, so they're well below top speed here, bouncing. Not really much they can do to escape. I think their fate was sealed, unfortunately, the moment that their ally went down. On the plus side, showing good spawn discipline here, the QTs. The Frilly Love Castle has spawned pretty distantly and in relative safety, so even though they've gone 4-0 down, not, they should just have time to spawn back in here, assuming the Frilly Love Castle retreats, but yeah, making the decision. Oh, this might actually be a little bit close. The Narwhal has a speed advantage on the Frilly Love Castle.
The East Chaladon Company certainly knew what they were doing, double teaming the Junker first. Which
Yes.
just so happens to have the higher levels on.
Oh dear, this is
based on all four players.
this might have actually been a strategy on the QT's part, because the Fluffy Tail spawn may have been a little bit delayed, and they get a wonderful Watcher shot into the Ephemeral Mass backside. Unfortunately, the front is all that they need. Oh,
Absolutely.
Gatling's going in.
Engines are irrelevant as the front guns currently have arcs, and the Frilly Moth is taking a lot of damage. It has lost its balloon.
Fluffy Tail
well
desperately
as two
trying to save
weapons.
their ally. Frilly Love Castle is not rammable at the moment, so this Gatling fire will wear them down, but it's not gonna... Oh, but the ground will
And
do
the
the job.
ground. A very quick game by the Eastern Chaladon Company. Is that the name of the team? It's something similar. I apologize if I got that wrong.
I believe so, yes.